Hello friend, today in this video we will see the refraction at spherical surface. See, in the previous video, the link is shared in the description. We saw that the refraction at the curved surface, refraction at the spherical surface, and we took the spherical surface as a concave surface. Today we will discuss the same formula, but the surface is convex, means the surface is convex towards the object. Okay, so let's start this derivation of the formula. Okay, it's just one of the most important formula for the board exams of 12th class. We have a convex surface xy. Okay, this is a section view of this convex surface. Here is a denser medium whose refractive index with respect to air is n2. Okay, you can say mu2 also, n2, and here in front of this convex surface we have a rarer medium whose refractive index with respect to air is n1. So here I will say that n1 is less than that of the n2. That's why this medium is denser. We can say n1 is less. Okay, n1 is less than that of n2. This is important. So this time here the medium is rarer medium, and this side the medium is denser medium. Here a point object O is kept at a distance u from the midpoint of the surface. Okay, this is the distance u. A point object O is kept, and I took one ray from this point O that incident at point A here, A, and here is a normal on this surface. Okay, AC is a normal on this surface. C is the center of curvature of this convex surface. Clear? Now an object O is kept at a distance u and a ray incident here, and if there is no change in the medium, the ray will travel like this. Okay, but since there is a change in medium, and you know when the ray is coming from a rarer medium to denser medium, it moves towards the normal. So here the ray will move towards the normal. So it not follow this path, it bends towards the normal. Okay, so I am taking the ray, it's bending towards the normal. Okay, so ray will meet somewhere here on the principal axis here. Okay, the ray incident from point O meeting at point A and it bending towards the normal. I am taking one more ray from point O which incident normally on this surface, so it travels straight like this. These two rays after refraction they are meeting at point I. So we can say the image of the object O is obtained at point I. Okay, so we put the name, this image distance is suppose V. Okay, see once again we have a xy is a convex surface, means it's convex towards the object. Clear? Which separates the two different media of refractive indices n1 and n2. An object O is kept at a distance u from this surface, and the ray which incident at point A after refraction it moves towards the normal. AC is the normal, and after refraction it travels like this. So AI is the refracted ray, and I took one more ray here from O to P and which go straight. That goes straight. Now both the rays are meeting at point I. This is the angle of, we can say, incident ray makes some angle with the normal, that is called angle of incident. So I. U is the object distance. V is the distance of image. R is the radius of curvature. Now, incident ray makes an angle with the red line. This red line is a normal on this surface. So this angle is I. So I is the angle of incident. Clear? And see this line after refraction. This is the refracted ray. AI is the refracted ray. It makes an angle. Suppose this angle is R. So R is the angle of refraction. Clear? Now In the previous video which you saw, the refraction at the spherical surface, and we took the convex surface like that, sorry, concave surface like that. In that concave surface I took the virtual image, means the refracted ray, I took the refracted ray met in the same side. Okay, so here also it may happen, but that is a you can say more realistic form. Okay, means it is very difficult to deflect this much large angle here, but in an NCERT book it is given like that, so I am taking this one. Okay, is it clear? Now this is the image form, and this you can say these two rays means the OP rays after refraction Pi and OA rays after refraction AI, both are meeting at point I actually. So you can say that there is an actual image is formed at point I. Okay, so very rare case. Now some angle we have to take. Suppose this angle is alpha, this angle is beta, and this angle is gamma. Okay, the angles are very small. Okay, see, we are taking the image distance, object distance, and the radius of curvatures are quite large value, means as compared to the aperture of the surface. These values are large value, means big values, hence we can see the angles are very small. So angle of incident I is also very small, angle of refraction R is also very small, and alpha, beta, gamma, these angle I suppose here. Alpha is the angle made by the normal with the principal axis, beta is the angle made by the incident ray with the principal axis, and gamma is the angle which is made by the refracted rays with the principal axis. So these angles are also very small angles. Now let's proceed. Okay, see here, just see when we write this angle alpha. Okay, just see here. When you consider the triangle ACI, just see in this triangle, angle alpha is exterior angle. Okay, in triangle ACI, here in triangle ACI, just see what is alpha. Okay, we can say alpha is an exterior angle. So you know, when we have any triangle A, B, C, when you extend one of the side, see this side is extended, this angle is exterior angle. Okay, see this angle is E. So this angle E will be sum of other two interior angle, will be A plus C. Okay, this is the theorem you studied in high schools. Okay, so here we will use that theorem. So here exterior angle alpha is equal to sum of these two angles. So we can write alpha is equal to R plus gamma. Clear? And hence we can get R is equal to alpha minus gamma. This is the equation number 1. Clear? Now one more triangle we can take. In the triangle we can take AOC. In triangle AOC. Here I is the exterior angle. Just see, in this triangle this line is extended. So I is the exterior angle. So we can say I is the exterior angle. I is equal to alpha plus beta. Okay, so we got angle I and angle R in terms of alpha, beta, gamma. Now just see, we can define what is angle alpha, beta, gamma. So you know the definition of the angle. Okay, the angle is defined is an arc upon radius. So here we can define angle alpha, beta and gamma. So here, what is alpha? Just see, alpha is the angle arc upon radius. Just see, arc is AP upon radius is PC. What about beta? Beta is the angle that you could say arc upon radius here also. So arc is same for all, AP upon OP. And also we can say gamma. The angle gamma is equal to arc upon radius. AP upon IP. Clear? Now we shall put these values in this equation 1 and 2. Putting the values of alpha, beta and gamma in equation 1 and 2. We have a 2 equation. Put these values, we get R is equal to alpha. Alpha means AP upon PC minus gamma. Gamma means AP upon IP. And what about I? I is equal to, here I is equal to alpha plus beta. I is equal to alpha plus beta. Here alpha is equal to AP upon PC plus beta AP upon OP. Clear? Now, according to law of refraction, you know law of refraction, sin I upon sin R is equal to refractive index of second medium that we used to write N2 with respect to 1, means this N2 by N1. This will put name N. Okay. So refractive index of second medium means a denser medium. Here we took the second medium as a denser medium. See, in a particular case we took like that. So, okay. Here refractive index of second medium is more. So N2 upon N1, that is N. So you know when the angles are very very small, so we can write the sin theta is equal to theta also. It is when the angles are small and it is measured in radian. So here we are measuring all the angles in radian. You know, in radian only the angle is defined as the arc upon radius. Okay, that's right. So here we took all the angles in radian. So we can write the sin I is equal to I, angle I. Sin I equal to angle I and sin R equal to angle R. Measured in radian, remember. So since the angles are very small. Okay, since angles are small. Okay, so we can write sin I is nearly equal to I and sin R is nearly equal to angle R. Clear? So hence we can write, let's see, this equation becomes very easy. Okay, this we can write see, this is equation number 3. So equation 3 will become sin I means I, sin R means R, so we can write I by R. Okay, so I upon R is equal to N2 upon N1. And just cross multiplying this, we can write here, on the cross multiplying this, we can write I N1 R N2. Clear? Now just put the values of I and R. We have a I is equal to AP upon PC, like that. Putting the values, this is the equation number 3. So instead of I, we can put AP by PC plus AP by OP. Okay. So N1 times AP by PC, AP over OP. And here R, N2 times R means we have a AP upon PC minus. See, we can take AP common. Both side AP is there. We can take AP as a common. So here you can take AP as a common. So we get 1 upon PC, 1 upon OP is equal to N2 AP, 1 upon PC minus 1 upon IP. Okay. So AP will be cancelled out. So here we can take cancelled out. AP is cancelled out with AP. Now we shall put the values of PC, OP and IP and with according to the sign convention. You know, when anything is kept left side from P, that will be considered negative. So here OP is considered negative. OP value is negative, means when you put the value of OP, so OP is U, so U can be considered negative. Okay, PC is the radius of curvature and that is right side, so we take it R is a positive, and PI, IP that is also right side, that also be considered positive. So putting the values, okay, here we shall put the values with the sign convention. Putting the values OP and IP with sign convention. It's very important. Okay, means PC is a PC value plus R, IP plus V, and OP, that is left side, will be considered negative. So minus U. Putting these value here, what shall we get? Okay, so hence putting all these N1 times 1 upon PC. So PC is equal to R. PC is equal to R plus, what about OP? OP is negative U. N2 1 upon PC. PC is plus R minus IP is also plus, so we will take as it is. There will no change of sign. Okay, this is the. Now just simplify this. Little algebraic simplification is there. Open the bracket. N1R minus N1U is equal to N2R, N2 over R minus N2 by V. Okay. Now keep the R terms one side. Terms containing R one side. And just N2 by V minus N1 by U is equal to N2 by R minus N1 by R. So this is the result. Okay. Now when you divide this expression with a N1 both side, okay, dividing by N1. When you divide this by, it becomes N2 upon N1, N1 upon N1, N1 will be cancelled out here. Okay, what shall you get here? N2 upon N1, here N2 upon N1, here N1 upon N1, N1 will be cancelled out. I am writing directly. Here N2 upon N1 and here 1. So you know N2 by N1 we took N. It is the refractive index, relative refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. So finally you will get here, when you solve this one, so you will get N by V minus 1 by U is equal to N by R. N minus 1 over R. This is the result. It is the same result we got. Okay, in the previous video also you saw the same result. So whether the surface is concave or convex, whether the image is real or virtual, okay, the relation will be same. Okay, sometimes the ray will be considered, means the ray is coming from denser medium to rarer medium, and that time you have to take N as the refractive index of second medium. Okay, always remember here the N is the refractive index of second medium. So which type of medium you took as a second, that depends upon the questions. Clear? Okay, so just practice this relation 2-3 times. Okay, thank you.